Yeah, it's Mike. Yeah. He said, like, look at you all big. Yeah, you got too damn big. Too big, bro. Get this in, get this in. It's my other tripod. Check this out. I'll show this picture real quick. I keep telling, I know none of y'all bought any, so I'm not even wasting my time saying, did you purchase something? Y'all respond. Remember, somebody, my boy Mike came by, wanted to ask something. Anyway, I was telling you that I wear lambs. I've got tank top, t-shirts. I didn't buy the long sleeve. I think that's like, let me see how much that costs. I think it's expensive, you know? Rondo, so you just commented. I thought you was over here. All right, let me pull it up and see how much it costs. Just a ballpark, you know what I mean? Oh, I gotta plug it in. I didn't know it was going that dead. Yeah, I mean, it'll last for a day and a half, 2 days, but it gets down about 30%, 25, 30. I go ahead and oh, shit. Come on, bro. What's wrong, Alexander? Huh? Okay. I have it on my phone. I don't keep it on here. Now, these right here are $69, $70. It cost me like $75 when I ordered them. See, this is lambs. Let me, that's right there. See? It's silver. You get silver, copper, and all that, okay? You seen the hat. Right now, I've got the tank top, the t-shirt, and the socks in the wash. I've got 3 pair, but I'm not going upstairs to grab them out the drawer. It's just not going to happen. It's the lambs hat. I've got 2 of these. So this one's about due for a wash. I've worn it for like a month now. And so I want to get the sweat-proof boxer briefs. They're like $36.99. I might order them next week. I don't know. They've got them for men and women. You can see there. Now these are EMF protective. Let me see if I can pull up the whole shebang. All right, let's pull up men. All right, headwear. This is a different type of headwear. Okay, you've got the wrap, which is one I want to get. No, I don't want to order nothing right now. Okay, and the EMF proof Scully is what I have. I ordered that already. Okay. Now you're gonna the Scully now is $89. Seriously. Let's pull up bottoms. Okay, you got Faraday trunks and Faraday boxer briefs. Now me, I have the Faraday boxer briefs. I have 2 of those, and I have one, and you'll see the lamb is black on that. Okay, and then the Faraday trunks. I got one of those. Those are actually, I like the briefs, but those are more comfortable. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me pull this one up. That's one you saw right there. Now, my favorite. Yeah, now, the antibacterial crew socks. I got 3 of them, boys. I got 2 of the little, slip-ins. Now, what's the benefit of this? Why am I saying this to you guys? Now, I'll show you some of the women's stuff. I didn't think any of the women would want to see any of this, but of course, why not? If I'm going to put it out there, let's put it out there. Same for you guys. Okay. Let's go with the tops. Excellent. You see that? More coverage. Let's go with the let's go with the bottoms. You saw the sister wearing it. It protects your ovaries. It protects all that good stuff underneath. Okay. Now the benefits of this, lambs actively support your body and mind. Lambs is the world's first health enhancing apparel with scientifically proven positive effects on both the body and mind. Lab tested and certified, backed by scientific studies, and trusted by thousands of customers. And trust me, it was a doctor who put me onto it. Immunity, energy recover, better sleep, improved cognition, fertility boost, healthier skin. Why? Because it protects you from what's called free radicals are produced by our body natural function. However, everyday external stresses like UV rays and EMF, wireless radiation, and pollution can drastically increase free radical production in our batteries. And as a counter defense, our body has antioxidants which give out electrons to these unstable molecules without becoming unstable themselves. What molecules are that? Free radicals, which are unstable molecules that steal electrons from nearby molecules, creating a more free radical and damaging our body tissues. Wearing lambs reduces your exposure to everyday external stresses and free radical production, which comes from outside, whether food, this, that, and other, but it allows your body a little balance. All right? You'd be surprised, like on fighter jets and certain APCs and tanks, EMI fingers. Pretty expensive. It looks like nickel or cadmium is silver. They reach out all around the windows and the door frames. So if an EMP pulse and the engine and everything comes, it won't shut down the battery. Outside influence. You are a walking battery. What do free radicals do? We're always stressed, right? I'm gonna say we. What does that do? Raise cortisol. What does that inhibit? Free radicals, right? And it attacks what? It's unnatural. We're supposed to be at peace, happy, and joyful. That's why I'm always going in on the government and these fake agencies and this, that, and the other. So I just wanted you to see, and this is what the site looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my screen here. I don't have it on here, so it's an app. It's an app on my phone. I don't want to install any more goddamn. All right. Well, it's a site. It's an app you gotta download. On my phone, I have the app. It's a little black damn lamb, and I'm not downloading it on here. So I just wanted to show you that, guys. And I ordered another book. So, but yeah, the hat, you can feel it. You can feel it. The hat is. That's why I always see me wearing it like down here, because the EMF right now. Let's pull it up. Let me show you right now what the EMF is. Right here where I'm sitting at. Okay. Right now it's at 66, but watch it jump. It may jump. It may go down. I'm talking right now, so we know AI is working through the TV, the phone, and everything. And it posts out from the repeaters the signal strength, which is unnecessary. It could be at 1 and all this stuff will work just the same. Interference, they tell you, interference comes from them when they're looking at things, searching things. They got their little balloon satellites flying over, you know what I'm saying? That's the interference that you get. I just wanted to give y'all some tea. Now, before I get into reading, there's a couple of cats on Instagram. I know they come over here and watch. They're young and dumb. It's about $1 followers. Get in the bag. All right. They're sitting there. They got all these young people. Believing that the halftime or the Grammy show was a wonderful thing. The 3 6 equals 9 and no, and the Baphomet and all this is good. First of all, it's not this. It's this, because as above, as below. The pyramid is not one-sided. That's the all-seeing eye. Okay? That means something's watching you and has nothing but good intentions, because you wouldn't have the foods going through with us, this, that, and other. And they're pushing the Anunnakis, this, that, and all this other stuff. Stay away from idiots like this. Aaliyah, she's giving you the secrets. Nah, these are dummies. These are probably the same little niggas running around talking about, I worship Satan and no. If you want to worship the Jannah, worship the Jannah. If you want to worship the Hawa, worship the Hawa. You don't have to worship shit. Get in tune with one, and because you know the other, but you can't manifest or control the other because you aren't nurtured to control the Jannah. How could you control it? Because if you could control it, you could stop them. Well, see, the Hawa, if you could master self, you would be in touch with the Hawa. And you choose to go that direction. It's because of watching and listening to too many people who don't know what they're talking about. I'm not saying everything. I know. And I guarantee you there's 1,000,000% more of information I don't know. And I'm always seeking it out. Just wanted to share that with you. You know that saying about they come in sheep's clothing? They're fools. They don't know what to talk about. They circle jerk. Somebody asked me, I don't know if you're here, I don't know if it was you, Big George. Somebody asked me, what do you think about Africa and the land being connected? I said, first of all, if you believe any of these maps you see, I said, believe half of what you see and nothing what you hear. And if you're not going to go and attempt to do the research yourself or learn how to pay the little, I forget how many thousands of dollars in total, but learn how to fly a Cessna and veer off into a direction you probably shouldn't because little black birds will fly up over you, that alludes to a whole lot, doesn't it? I want to know. I know they always tell you in lying, I tell our vision, these Africans on these boats traveling over South America and the Caribs. Why would they be all the way up in Mexico? Alive, well, waiting to cross the border. Hundreds of thousands of them. Guyana? That's part of Brazil. That's not part of Africa. Now, people crack me up when they talk, but is it part of Brazil? Is Brazil, I've been to Brazil several times. I know that the flight plans we took was a zigzag all over the place instead of flying straight there with 2 stopovers. That didn't make sense to me at all. So am I going to listen to those individuals? I don't care. Does it matter if Africa, you can walk through the Grand Canyon all the way? What does it matter? What if it goes underground? I don't care. And see, the problem is people care about things and they don't take care of the things they should be caring about. Self, learning what they're really capable of. I'm not saying everybody can get shot in the head and put their head back. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying that you can get there and realize it's more beautiful than anything and you don't want to come back. Or you feel like, oh, my job's done now. I know everything. Well, what's the purpose of going back? There's a purpose to everything. Maybe it's not delegated or meant for everybody. Spit on my little peppermint. I like it. It's like, it's about time for me to take my second mullein leaf too. I got a little bit of, it's doing something outside, and I was attempting to look at the map to see which way the winds blew for the last 2 days as far as the traveling of those chemicals. It was quite a bit. It murked the sky above them, Palestine, Ohio. And when you know how the wind travels, it did a light little rain, weird snow thing. And I was like out there in my truck, and I was like, I ain't getting out in this shit. People looking at me like, you getting out? No, I'm waiting to see if one of you motherfuckers drop dead. That's what, I ain't playing with that. I ain't trying to fend. I'm working to fend a number of things off. Y'all show me what your power is. If you make it through it when everybody else stand and fall down, I'll come to you and say, well, what you do, man? What you eat? No, I'm not getting out in that shit. I'm telling you this, the winds and what that stuff went up to, it's called the fallout. And winds carry that shit. You know, after World War II, are you aware that stuff circled the earth? How many years did that serve? Look at this, y'all. I know y'all don't research stuff like this. I'm gonna look this up. Why not, right? Got you here. Nagasaki. Let's see if they have it. Killed an estimated over 250,000 people. Further, 74,000 in Nagasaki. All right. Five to 10 years. Last for decades and span across generations. That's the fallout. Decades. 5 to 10 years is the, and as far as the so-called ionosphere, or they call it the radiation in the ozone layer that thins it out, supposedly. On thin shit. Anyway, 5 to 6 years after the bombings. So, go away 1 to 5 years. So we're talking about immediate radiation and all that. The gray clouds that look like snow. Today is on par with extremely low levels, so it's very low. That's today, and 2000, they're fake 23. I think Nagasaki, I think Hiroshima was a little longer. Nagasaki, I believe, was little man. Hiroshima was fat boy. Fat man, and Nagasaki was little boy, if I remember right. I think it was 5 to 6 years, if I remember right, because I work with PR, I work with nukes, so I don't need to read that. And the detonation of nuclear weapons above ground sends radioactive materials as high as 50 miles into the stratosphere. Large particles fall to the ground near the explosion site, but lighter particles and gases travel into the upper atmosphere. And we know in the upper atmosphere, it travels for decades. And yes, it was felt over here in California. It was felt, and it was monitored. Every time it passes, they see how much weaker it's become. But you got to remember, they've also did, fishbowl, or whatever they want to call that. They explode. They were attempting to crack the ceiling, and you had all that stuff falling over there in Saudi Arabia, out in the desert, those blue crystals that they don't want to speak the truth about, which you haven't seen because they haven't blown nothing up there in a long time. So, I mean, lambs. I don't think you can buy a whole bunch of underwear and sew them and put them around your motor, your battery. Maybe you can. I don't know. There are things and covers you can purchase, for a few $100s to put over your engine battery if you want to take it out and bring it inside, if you don't get directly hit and destroyed. I'm just saying, it's just the reality of what may happen. or what can happen. The possibilities are fluent, not to speak negative, to negate or speak negativity and have people believing in something, but to follow these young men who don't know what they're talking about because they run across a little bit of information and they start speaking on it as if they know it. And that's the youth. You know, I know it all now. And they're not even scratching the surface. All right, so let's go ahead. In DNA of the gods, the Anunnaki creation of Eve, an alien battle for humanity. And I appreciate the thanks that I'm getting in Messenger and stuff like that for my reading. I know sometimes I'm slipping up, but you know, it's some words, like I said, when you study languages, it's some words that are using normal. I think that's the beautiful thing of being in the military and college. I've always looked at dictionaries, Webster's, well, it don't matter, whatever, encyclopedias, and when I was able to sit down and put the earphones on and listen to words, how they sound, and do my best to mimic until I can actually pronounce it, the pronunciation. There are times when I'm looking at words and I see something totally different. So my apologies when I'm chopping up a certain language. Okay. All right. Okay. Of course, and this is by Chris H. Hardy, PhD. The other book I have down there, which is the Wars of the Anunnaki. All right, by the same individual. Okay. Of course, this is not to say that we on Earth could be the ones to judge from a safe, neutral, and wise standing point. This is more to show how much they look like us. But the problem is that they are supposed to be gods. And gods are supposed to be the epitome of all virtues, especially justice, good, as opposed to evil, in parentheses, and righteousness. It appears that the ancient polytheist religions were much closer to the reality of the olden gods and their very human psychological traits than the nearly axiomatic interpretation handed down by monotheism. Hinduism, for example, has a supreme trinity of gods: Vishnu, in parentheses, and it states, and his avatar, Krishna, the god of love; Shiva, the scholar and the ecstatic, and Brahma, largely out of reach. And why is it jumping up like that? What is this? Somebody got control of my remote? Thank you. Background music. Anyway. Excuse me. In parentheses it states, largely out of reach and who has only rare temples left. Okay, that's Brahma, I guess the bull. Krishna, the god of love, an incarnation of Vishnu, is often depicted in the company of beautiful women in love. His gopis, or courtesans, all giving themselves up to the joy of music, dance, and courting in exquisite natural surroundings. This, of course, with the forgiveness of his godly spouse, Radha. Apart from the music and dance, his attraction to women in lovemaking could virtually apply to Enki. As for the divine Hera of the Greeks, jealous, violent, and demanding so much of her chosen heroes, like Hercules, the parallel with Inanna Ishtar springs to mind easily. And it's funny, there was a mountain. I actually went through the pillars when they said that this big ass monument to Hercules stood. And Nana drove her chosen heroes to make war on all regions and to conquer the world for her with her divine help and no less divine weapons. And we'll get into that in another book. Human to human, gods, the bright side. We have seen a civilization bent on war and control, riddled with a deadly competition between brothers, the science of which is largely focused on weaponry and the technology for control. And I know you guys would know that from me reading these books right here. And custodian as well. Even in Not Out of Africa, it has some pretty wild stuff. Custodians of time. Excuse me. But what of the positive psychological traits of our Anunnaki gods? The Anunnaki, whether male or female, express themselves spontaneously through writing and often through poems. They often chant their love and their emotions, and Inanna's love for Dumuzi was so deep that she wrote or inspired some of the most beautiful pieces of poetry about exalted and tender love in the Sumerian notes or lore. The Anunnaki are definitely fond of fine arts, and we know, for example, that Ninurta had a flute and taught Adapa to play, and also that Amnu, the father of heaven, and Nibiru, had a lyre that he left on earth, and that it was so loved and sacred that at one point it was set in the sacred precinct of Inanna's temple in her city. And Eric Uruk, constructed by Emerka, Wars 239, that's in the other book, page 239. Inanna's temple with lapis lazuli, was adorned and decorated with the handiwork of Nenagal in the bright place. Excuse me. The residence of Inanna, the lyre of Anu, they installed. The Anunnaki used their great artistic sense and know-how to build magnificent temple abodes, and they live there and keep in the holies of holies the knowledge, technology, and sacred techno-magical objects, in parentheses, the MEs, of their specific function, power, and knacks. At the same time, it is the temple where they are worshipped. With an era open to their followers, the temple has generally a whole city built around it. In time, when lines of priesthood would be lowered to earth, as will be kingship, in parentheses, a high priest will be in charge of both the scientific and spiritual knowledge, and will take care of writing records on clay tablets, gathering whole libraries of copies of tablets, and will perform the sacred rituals. Many poems chant the extreme sophistication of their temple abodes, especially of their secret rooms, such as this one, Abot's Inki's entrancing temple abode in the lush natural beauty of the Abzu, which is the Apsu. We'll see that later on. To the Apsu, pure land, where great waters rapidly flow, to the abode of flowing waters. The Lord betakes himself in the abode of flowing waters, and Inki in the pure waters established. In the midst of the Apsu, a great sanctuary he established. Another prominent psychological trait is the respect for their father and the obedience to his decrees or orders. One notable exception is Nergal, who, after being reprimanded by his father, Enki, for creating havoc in Marduk's temple in Babylon, in order to leave Sumer, responds with insolence to him. And even on leaving, he made a sign of impotence. And that's in Wars, page 254, so we will come across all this again. He could counter the order partly by having his supporters stay in Sumer, but himself couldn't not follow his father's orders. The father is often fond of his children. He tries to be fair in allotting territories and realms, and of course, knowledge. As we see in the text below, this is in Wars 149, which I'll read. Remember that Enki is called Ta in Egypt, and Marduk is the god Ra, in parentheses. Enki answered his son Marduk, "My son, what is it you do not know? What more could I give to you? Marduk, what is it that you do not know? What could I give you in addition? Whatever I know, you know." Does that sound familiar? And we see also a great respect for one's mother. Thus, when Nimna is given lordship of the fourth region, the Sinai Peninsula, called Tilmun, in parentheses, one which stood the new post-diluvial spaceport in a land arid of inhospitable. And her son Nanuta, fathered by her brother Enlil, in parentheses, constructed a whole irrigation network so that vegetation, crops, flower trees, and fruit trees could grow, giving the people the food and comfort they required and needed. Sounds very familiar to quite a few things, doesn't it? Book of Enoch. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. A fragment of the book of Noah, chapter 106. And after some days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech, and she became pregnant by him and bore a son. And his body was white as snow and red as the blooming of a rose, and the hair of his head and his long locks were white as wool, and his eyes beautiful. He was an albino. And his eyes beautiful. And when he opened his eyes, he lit up the whole house like the sun, and the whole house was very bright. And thereupon he arose in the hands of the midwife, opened his mouth, and conversed with the Lord of righteousness. And his father Lamech was afraid of him, and fled, and came to his father Methuselah. And he said unto him, I have begotten a strange son, diverse from an unlike man, and resembling the sons of the God of heaven. And his nature is different, meaning bright, not white. And he is not like us, and his eyes are as the rays of the sun. And that was a red haze then. Oxygen was more pure, and his countenance is glorious. And it seems to me that he is not sprung from me, but from the angels. And I fear that in his days a wonder may be wrought on the earth. And now, my father, I am here to petition thee and implore thee that thou mayest go to Enoch, our father, and learn from him the truth, for his dwelling place is amongst the angels. And when Methuselah heard the words of his son, he came to me to the ends of the earth, for he had heard that I was there. And he cried aloud. Now, how do you think he got there? For he had heard that I was there, and he cried aloud. And I heard his voice, and I came to him, and I said unto him, Behold, here am I, my son, wherefore hast thou come to me? Here we are, excuse me. And he answered and said, Because of a great cause of anxiety have I come to thee, and because of a disturbing vision have I approached thee. And now, my father, hear me unto Lamech. My son there hath been born a son, the like of whom there is none, and his nature is not like man's nature, because we were all very dark and melanated, my pale skin brothers and sisters. Y'all are from us, so shut the fuck up. And his nature is not like man's nature, and the color of his body is whiter than snow and redder than the bloom of a rose. Now y'all might start getting together to understand the sins of the father, who drove y'all in this direction, and who are the liars, the contemplators, instead of being the gatekeepers. Anyway, and the color of his body is whiter than snow and redder than the bloom of a rose. And the hair of his head is whiter than white wool. And his eyes are like the rays of the sun. And he opened his eyes and thereupon lighted up the whole house. And he arose in the hands of the midwife and opened his mouth and blessed the Lord of heaven. And his father Lamech became afraid and fled to me, and did not believe that he was sprung from him, but that he was in the likeness of the angels of heaven. And behold, I have come to thee, that thou mayest make known to me the truth. And I, Enoch, answered and said unto him, The Lord will do a new thing on the earth, and this I have already seen in a vision, and make known to thee that in the generation of my father Jared, some of the angels of heaven transgressed the word of the Lord. And behold, they commit sin and transgress the law, and have united themselves with woman and commit sin with them, and have married some of them, and have begot children by them. Yes, there shall come a great destruction over the whole earth, and there shall be a deluge and a great destruction for 1 year. And this son who has been born unto you shall be left on the earth, and his 3 children shall be saved with him. And when all mankind that are on the earth shall die, in brackets it states, he and his sons shall be saved. And they shall produce on the earth giants, not according to the spirit, but according to the flesh. And there shall be a great punishment on the earth, and the earth shall be cleansed from all impurity. And now make known to thy son Lamech that he who has been born and is in truth his son, and call his name Noah, for he shall be left to you. and he and his sons shall be saved from the destruction which shall come upon the earth on account of all the sins and all the unrighteousness which shall be consumed on the earth in his days. And after that there shall be still more unrighteousness than that which was first consummated on the earth. For I know the mysteries of the holy ones, for he, the Lord, has showed me and informed me, and I have read them in the heavenly tablets. Puzzle. Remember, big puzzle. Not complicated. The Book of the Giants, the Watchers, Nephilim, and the Book of Enoch. And, you know, it's Bob and Dude, Joseph Lumpkin. Yeah, he doesn't have a picture, if I remember right. Afro beats be kicking. Okay. So when we finished off, I was reading Gen 5:32, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. 6:1, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives. Listen again. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the earth, on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. Pay attention. When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. We see that today. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Now, 2, and the angels taught them charms and spells, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And the woman became pregnant, and they bare large giants, whose height was 3,000 cubits, ells. And a fragment of the actual, verse. They knew the secrets, sin was great in the earth, and they killed many, they begat giants. In Jubilee 7:21, because of these 3 things came the flood on the earth, namely the fornication that the watchers committed against the law of their ordinances. The fornications against the law of their order. When they went whoring after the daughters of men, and took themselves wives of all they chose, and they made the beginning of uncleanliness. And they begat sons, the Nephilim, and they were all dissimilar, and they devoured one another. And the giants killed the Nephil, and the Nephil killed the Eljo, and the Eljo killed mankind, and one man killed one another. Everyone committed himself to crime and injustice, and to shed much blood, and the earth was filled with sin. After this, they sinned against the beasts and birds, and all that moved and walked on the earth. Bestiality, cannibalism. Yes, against the animals, it's called cannibalism. Yes, people, the flesh. Don't let these idiots who have fooled you, don't make light of it. Anyway, and all that moved and walked on the earth, and much blood was shed on the earth, and men continually desired only what was useless and evil. And the Lord destroyed everything from the face of the earth because of the wickedness of their deeds. and because of the blood they had shed over all the earth, he destroyed everything. Now the giants consumed all the work and toil of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And the fragments of the actual writing is up there, and I'm not going to go through that because it's got brackets everywhere of empty space. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones, the earth. For in those days the sons of men began to trespass against the Creator, and to go contrary to the commandments which he had given Adam, to be prolific and reproduce in the earth, to be prolific and reproduce, more than enough for everyone. And some of the sons of men caused their wives to drink a mixture that would render them unable to conceive, in order that they might retain their figures and their beautiful appearance might not fade. And when the sons of men caused some of their wives to drink, Zillah drank with them, and the childbearing woman appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands, and they treated them as widows, while their husbands lived with those unable to conceive, and to those women they were attached. And you got all these perversions going on, these worthless ass so-called doctors, which don't mean shit, who want to sit out there, and these perverts, and you got more gay people supporting abortion clinics than anything. Isn't that funny? And nobody's saying nothing. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to Exposing the Expositions, 1851, 1915, revised edition 2021 from his 2019 by Howdy Mikowski. Excellent read. If you purchased it, awesome. Enjoy the read. And I read this because it gives you a little more into, as I'm reading, what you don't hear is that there were grand cities, giants. When I was in France, I went to that one building and I saw the lock that you would lift with your hand about 16 feet up. And I said, no, somebody ain't got a stick to lift that lock. Who lifting that lock? And the little guard with the funny poofy shoulders and stuff standing there looking retarded. Sir, there's a doorknob and handle right there. Man, I'm asking about that damn lock right there. Y'all left up there. Somebody should have removed it with the dumb asses. And he just laughed. Now I went on in there and looked at all the mosaics, changed quite a bit from what they were. And they still had pictures of what the original ones were. And they showed melanated people. Call it what you want. Okay, a view from the DeForest Tower. I showed you all that the last time. The fair was opened in 1904 by its president, Francis. And with these remarks, open ye gates, spring wide ye portals, enter in ye sons of men, not man, and behold the achievement of your race. Learn the lesson here taught, and gather from it inspiration to still greater achievements. I found interesting the list of it being a portal, and behold the achievements. I'm going to read his voice different anyway. What achievements and what race is being referred to? The exposition was massive, twice as large as Chicago, at over 1,200 acres, 4.9 kilometers square, with over 1,500 buildings connected by some 75 miles, 121 kilometers, of roads and walkways. Chicago was only 693 acres. The Palace of Agriculture alone covered some 20 acres, 81,000. God damn. What the fuck? Oh, anyway, excuse me. Again, we are dealing with an exposition of giant structures, domes, towers, columns, arches, lakes, canals. 2 years to build from scratch, 1,200 acres of buildings, roads, fountains, sewers, lagoons, and all the landscaping. There is no better place to start than the Palace of Agriculture. The exposition's largest, the building measured 545 feet wide and 1,650 feet long, and had the height of an 8-story building. A walk of 3/4 of a mile was required to simply pass around it. Inside, there were 10,000 exhibits of 15 countries in 42 states, On the east side of its exterior was the largest rose garden in the world. And at that time, they couldn't build nothing that big. Nobody could. They couldn't, I mean. Remember, we was repairing and fixing up everything destroyed from war, right? And teaching their asses, like Martin Luther King said. All that work we did showing these mother suckers. Inside were 10,000, okay, yeah, but anyway. Covering 10 acres and displaying 1 million flowers. To the north was the floral clock, which had 13,000 flowering plants covering its face. At night, it was illuminated by over 1,000 lights. It was the largest clock in the world, operated by compressed air. The minute hand was 75 feet long and weighed 2,700 pounds and moved 5 feet every minute. The hour hand was 50 feet long. Interestingly, cameras could be used anywhere on the fairgrounds except within the agriculture building. That piques my curiosity right there. So what was there inside of that building that the organizers did not want anyone to photograph? The Palace of Fine Arts was supposedly the only permanent building built by Cass Gilbert, the architect who designed the United States Supreme Court building, which that is Tartarian there in every state and in every country. You ever have a look at the one that's down in Cuba? The one in Haiti? How about the one in Jamaica? He often used the ball art style to reflect the optimistic American sense that the nation was the heir of Greek democracy. The heir of Greek democracy, Roman law, and Renaissance humanism. For the palace in St. Louis, Gilbert was heavily inspired by the baths of Caracalla in Rome, Italy. Again, that direct imitation of specific buildings in ancient Rome. The structure was built from Bedford stone and the highest quality limestone in the United States. All the 11,000 art exhibits were on the ground floor with 134 skylights. The mines building was 525 by 750 feet. Transportation building, 525 by 1,300. Manufacturers, 525 by 1,200. And electricity, 525 by 659 feet. The administration building was built for the university and was made to look like a Tudor England castle. The fraternity building was 200 by 300 feet and had 80 rooms for fraternal orders, which is a lot. That's not what the building was for. Entirely surrounded by lagoons, the Palace of Education and Social Economy was situated facing west on the Grand Basin. And fairgoers gained entrance by walking over monumental bridges. Visitors could view an elementary school actually having their classes or attend a college lecture. That was them doing the whole education shit. So here's a picture of the Festival Hall of Cascades. And do you think that they can build this shit, and this ain't even half of it, this ain't a quarter of it, a tenth of it, in 2 years? They couldn't build that now in 2 years. That alone. Then the agriculture building, you don't see none of the other stuff. The hardest thing with a lot of these pale skin writers is accepting the fact that they didn't build the shit. So they want to make it like some lighter motherfucker, look like a Puerto Rican or a Greek or something. No, we had different shades of people, this, that, and other, but it's not what they have nothing to do with anything. And there were other things here, people, things, whatever you want to call them. Heaven Bearers, the Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood. Janine Helen, there she is. I saw her when she was in South Africa, if she's still there. Yeah. Well, you know that she just heard her mother's real feelings about her. We need to head back. I need to check on my children, she says suddenly, and realizes that it is snowing a lot harder now. It actually says is it. It should be it is, but you know how it is when people writing books. You have children? As in children with that? She catches herself. You have human children? Cassidy is surprised by this news. The prophecy says you would be pregnant, but that would that it would be Cassiel's child. She replies and emphasizes the singular aspect of the word child. She proceeds to get up slowly and pulls a confused face. The prophecy seems to have gotten many things wrong. Or I am not the one. Bonnie replies and starts to walk back to the settlement. Cassidy sticks out her tongue to taste a bit of the snow and mumbles softly as she watches her walk away. No, I know you are the one, sister. Malcolm is waiting for her inside a little cave that they had prepared as best they could for them. On the far right-hand side of the camp, it is quite out here and private. Bonnie is grateful for the privacy. There is thin mattresses on the floor made out of some kind of thin plant or bark. She isn't sure, and a warm blanket made from different items of clothing sewn together. This is a far cry from the mansion and what you were able to provide for me. She pouts and gives out a slight sigh. This place is depressing and it's always snowing. I'm amazed, though, that they found a way to feed so many people. She lays down next to him and snuggles up to him. I am very glad you are here with me. My life would be worthless without you in it. He plays with her hair, looks over her at the children, and can't help but feel the same as she does. I don't like the feeling, Bonnie. What have you done to me? He asks her softly and means every word that comes out of his mouth. Nothing, Malcolm. You are always capable of emotions. I just need to show you how to access them, and so I did. She gives him a long and drawn-out kiss and breathes in him. I think we should get some rest. I'm exhausted, she says, as she closes her eyes tight and places her hand softly onto his chest. Bonnie sleeps solidly until her body is fully rested. Emil and Amelia are quiet and content, and they wait for their mother to wake up before they start to crave her attention. They don't cry or get anxious or even restless. They don't need to cry. Bonnie wakes up and looks over at them. Good morning, my babies, she says, and sits up with fright once she realizes something is wrong with them. She rubs her eyes, thinking she only imagined what she just saw, and her heart is racing. She looks back over at them, and she is speechless and perplexed. Malcolm, sweetheart, she calls with a broken voice. He noticed there is panic and worry in it and can't imagine what could be wrong. Malcolm, please come here, she shouts more firmly. There is a shadow at the entrance of the cave, and she can feel the freezing cold air come inside as he enters. Something is very wrong with our children, she says, and he can imagine, or he can see her hands are trembling and her face is pale white. He walks up closer and dusts off the snow from his hair and shoulders, not taking her particularly seriously. What is the problem? Let's have a little look. He pauses and stares at Emil and Amelia in utter amazement. He closes his eyes and opens them again and is completely bewildered by what is sitting in front of him. How is this possible? He asks, and he tries to make sense of what he is saying. I have no idea, but I'm not merely saying things, am I? She asks. No. He bends down and strokes Emil on his cheek. Is there something about this in the prophecy? He asks and looks back at her. I don't know. She shakes her head. To be honest, I am not sure there is such a thing in the prophecy at all. I mean, how could there be? This isn't normal. Her mind replays that memory from Cassidy that she saw yesterday, and she remembers what her mother said. She isn't normal and is pure evil. What do you mean? Everyone has heard about the prophecy. This must be in it, somewhere, surely, he asked, surprised by her action. No! I saw a memory from Cassidy, and Mother was terrified of me. It seems like I had powers as a baby already. The night before the mud flood, my mother wanted to get rid of me, and she had a big fight with my father about it. Father naturally refused. But my mother and I was pure evil. My mother said that I was pure evil. The morning of the mud flood, she snuck out of the house with me and was preparing to throw me from the misty bridge, but she never made. God dang it. Excuse me. She never made it, I believe is what I say. Made it that far. Azrael was suddenly there, and I don't know why or what he wanted. I have this memory of her fighting for me, but I realize now she was fighting to get away from them and fighting for her life. She was not fighting for me at all. Her tone is soft with the realization of the ultimate betrayal, something a mother should never do. I am sorry, Bonnie. Malcolm stands up and gives her a soft kiss and whispers into her ear, I will fight for you and them, always. This is a promise I will never break. He puts his arms around her and they stand staring at their babies. Emil and Amelia have grown into 6-month-old babies, even though they are only officially a week old. Oh, there you go if you were waiting for that. No one understands why they are growing so fast. In fact, no one has ever experienced such an odd thing and can offer no explanation. I know it's a lot bigger poo-poo. Anyway, Bonnie has no idea either, but her gut tells her that they will help them stop the heaven bearers from destroying the earth and be an important aspect in the coming war. Oh, anticipation, it's making me wait. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm reading a lot, so it's something when I go back to read, it's like, oh, man, you know, you're reading that book right there. Nobody know you're reading that book. Well, I got to read other things as well. And I'm not coming back on. I don't know. I want to come back. I want to do an open mic. I want to actually do a podcast. Discuss some things. Somebody asked me if I would read these again with the Flatlanders and other books. Excuse me. I would have to finish reading everything that I'm reading right now, because you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. Like, God dog, man, I'm taking days because I thought people didn't want to hear nothing. So, you know, I come back and it's obvious that people really do. And that right there, it's very satisfying. I'm very gratuitous. So yes, I would do it. But after I'm reading these, because I got to get through the Gold Diskusa. I already read the Arawak 101, Mud Flood, blah, blah, blah. And we got to get the other war. But that one there, I'll read again with that one. But those two aside, and there's one more I ordered, and I'm just waiting on it. So I'm waiting on those. Oh, and I got this today. They had melted to the wrong place. And instead of notifying me in my Gmail, government agencies have the worst people working for them. When I was in the military, everything had to be perfect. So it's not raining or snowing. I gotta put this on my truck. I don't need it at all. They don't bother me. They don't bother me because they're not gonna waste their time with somebody that actually knows. I mean, there's a bunch of dumbasses who don't know me, but Grand Canyon State with a smoke signal coming up in the middle. Somebody said, you ain't going to get one that says a veteran? I said, what the fuck I want to have a big ass signal out there for? Fucking retarded ass people. People so damn dumb. I'm not saying to be hateful. So anyway, yeah, I would have received it like a month and a half ago. And so I got my little dumbass tag. She said she was going to overnight it, but I got it. You see what day it is. And that was Friday. So I gotta get my tools and put that on. But I love y'all. I love everybody that always shows up, man. I know y'all be like, well, he be going in. Most time it's an act. But this morning, this AM, I was driven because I want to say I can empathize with the knowledge of it being hard to let go of certain things and doing certain things. I can't today. There's nothing hard about letting go of foolishness. To disconnect and stop being part of the aggravation and everything else. I know some of you, it's going to be hard because you're very weak. And I'm not going to bite my tongue to satisfy and fulfill everybody. I'm not here to make you go, oh, you know, he's being so sweet, so I'm going to hang on. No, I'd rather throw your ass to the alligators if you're dumb enough to walk in the alligator goddamn farm. There seems to be a lot of those. I miss Florida, waking up in the morning with the alligator out there under my car. But yeah, throw your ass right to him. I'm tired of y'all lazy. Y'all lazy individuals. You're just lazy. And that's not for you. That's for those who come along and because they want to see this. And they want to see a knucklehead walking in Afghanistan going up to people who sell guns. That's not too goddamn bright. And some people that went and did it didn't work out too well for them. I'm not here. I'm not Ace Live. I'm not here traveling around, which I could do, and show y'all a wonderful time. I'm not getting jabbed up, which that's unrequired now. Damn jab was a lie, and I can say that right now, you know? And how can somebody talking about law and law when they work on procedures, and everything is lawlessness from the corrupt government, which is way too big by 75%, which it was never to become, because nobody wants to pay attention to why people were put in place in the positions they were placed to do the very exact thing you see. Look at Justin Trudeau. Who that young goofy motherfucker in Canada. Look at the motherfucker they got in Alaska. Look at the stuff that's going on. I mean, come on, people. And our people still have a hard time. And you wonder why. Coming together. Well, it's because y'all keep attempting to emulate these old black gay men and women. And you need to stop emulating them. Let them the fuck be. They've made a choice. Y'all really need to get together, and you need to come out. See, you can't get, look, if you got a job there and you can't get a job here, there's something wrong with you. You shouldn't have that fucking job you have. None of you. I don't care if you're a nurse, goddamn Lyft driver, Uber. My sister was the face of Uber for a long time. You know? With her dreads and everything. But you know, if you're a butcher, it don't matter. If you can't get a job, jobs are about to fall out anyway. And how much money y'all got saved up? How many of y'all got 20, 30, 40,000 y'all can just go and spend right now? Get an RV, protected, get protective wear and everything else. Get UHF, radio. Get all the stored dry foods, enough for 1 or 2 to last for 6 years. Enough way to purify water, even in the most extreme ways, even with radiation particles. How many of y'all have that kind of money to do that right now? I bet the majority of y'all be like, shit. I bet none of you. How much ammo you got? How many of you are willing to fight, even if you know that you're about to take your last breath? Huh? And how you gonna fight when you ain't got nobody to watch your 6 or your 12? Hell, your 3 and your 9. There's a reason why 3, 6, 9 is so supreme. But y'all keep being stuck on 7. Talking about I'm 1. 5 over there looking at you like, and 11 like this. Snake eyes, motherfucker. You T. I know I drive people to want to talk and discuss certain things, and they need to be discussed, and people need to be driven. We need to have a network where we graft people in who know being grafted in is not to the benefit of others, but to the benefit of themselves. Okay? I was watching Pastor Powell, and he said something about Jesus, and I was like, oh, shit, you don't do that. But he was making a point. And I got it right off the back. Him being an ex-army guy, I'm not going to say what he did. It's nobody's business. What he did, I was going to do. And then I said, wait a minute. Why can't I not get people to come together and do it together? We gather our resources together. But then when I started saying, okay, you guys donate, I'm going to get the books, good books, and I'm going to read them to you. I started seeing the snuffing and the stingy and the mindset of the city and the urban dwellers. And I started seeing the zombies, the slaves. And I was like, wow, you're going to make me rich, huh? You broke motherfuckers is going to make me rich. I can go out and spend $3,000 every week. It's not a joke about my daughter. So what the fuck? I am sharing. Y'all don't know what sharing is. See, a lot of y'all just want. It's no gift. And it's sad. But I'm so grateful for those who gave because I'm able to buy these books. Now, I still have a certain amount of money on here because Rep donated money to buy something and I didn't. I spent money from my account. So that way I can, with this, I ordered the stuff because I want to try it. I'm telling y'all, she gave me a good, I read it to y'all, man. That skate oil, whatever. I'm getting that. I'm going to try that. To go along with my sea moss. I'll scatter days because I want to get to the point where I'm not eating at all, people. I really do, for a period of time. So it's all vegetables, and we got a greenhouse somewhere we built together because some of us got our heads out of ass and we get them together and we built this beautiful greenhouse and we're growing all kind of beautiful fruit and we're allowing the seeds to go back to what they need to be, and we're sitting there and we're walking around and we're chanting and we're talking to Mother Earth, and nobody's bothering us, and they do, goddamn it, we can do some things because we got a place with a welder and this, that, and other. We can build some shit. We ain't got to say nothing to nobody. But y'all slow. Some of y'all probably even hopeless in your heads. Man, I'm hopeless. I don't think it can be anything to be done. See, old negative motherfuckers like y'all been in the city too long. So there it is. It's still there. I ordered it using my account. I'm not going to put my account up. And now, after seeing what I'm saying, what is going on here? Why is this clock popping up? Let me see what this is. What is this? I don't want to see that. Let me see. Hold on. Daily board off, nigga. What the fuck I need that on for? Anyway, right? So I'm not going to show you I'm gotta make a decision if I'm going to take my investments out, because there's a lot, and I don't listen to everything, but there's a lot of smoke blowing going on, and savings for now. Why are they giving this free tax fill and shit? Fuck y'all. I'm giving these motherfuckers nothing. So, excuse my language. And I was going to mess with Tech Church and the rest of this business because it's up. But I got stock in Tesla, Advanced Micro Devices. I got stock in Nike still. I'm thinking about changing that over to GE because of the jets and the engines and there's something else being developed. And only reason why I haven't Tesla because it's up by 7 something. I had actually had it in Apple. It dropped. It had dropped 2 point something and another 1 point something. Then today I think it dropped like 0.42%. So I'm glad I took that out because I don't like to play with that. Gas should not be down. Gas is down only because that is part of the stock market and stock market and Social Security. They're playing in a place they shouldn't because of the war they want to commit to and big tech and the medical industry, which is not about money. Remember I told you we haven't had a judge since 1790, 89 or whatever the fuck, and we haven't had money, the worth of money, and they ran out those blue $2 bills that were still had silver on them because of Nixon. People don't want to know this, but I'm thinking about pulling my stocks out because Tesla was up 7.51%. So if you have $300 in there, let's say you had $1,000 in there, you know how much you'd be up right now? 7.51%. So you had 10,000 or 20,000. Shit, you could pay your rent. Look, I'm just saying, some people know how to work this shit, some people don't. It's all gonna come. It's if you got it in there, when this shit crashes, it's gone. What is it gonna be worth anyway? We are under the barter system. We are. Me and you. And we don't even know how to barter. I'm bartering with you for your worthless ass dollars to actually get something that is tangible. You know, that's why they say have a trust. And there's these fucking books that when they print shops aren't printing no more of them and they run out because they can't sell them. Now they can't sell them because the money's not worth nothing. I have books that just jumped up 1,000%. For those who might want to hold on to it, not the little wayward idiots who want to run around killing for food and water. I'm talking about in those first 6 weeks before we air out a lot of motherfuckers. I am talking about, and besides, who might be flying over and dropping bombs and looking for places if you ain't BDU suited and armored the fuck up and communicating. Okay? So yeah, I'm not going to show you that. So my investments are very important. Take it however the fuck you want. I buy what the fuck I wants to buy. You feel me? And I buy because I can. Y'all donate. I go half. I get books. I read the books. I took a couple of days off because I was like, I didn't see the respect. It was a handful of people hit me up. Whoa, Red, come on, man. But I have to be lethargic in because I really want people to get this. And some of y'all know, some of y'all think you know every goddamn thing. I know it. Tell me I'm lying. I know some of you think you know every goddamn thing. Yes. And you don't. You don't. I barely know shit my damn self. But I know this much. I know the importance of what I do. That's what I know. I appreciate you guys, man. All my brothers and sisters. Me hermano, me familia. Me family, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all. And I told you, y'all didn't have to send me, for those of you that sent me the big bills, and those aren't big bills, $24 is beautiful. That's big to me. When all I was looking for $5 and $10 here and there. I match $5 and $10, $5 and $10. And then when we get to the amount, it's not a rush. But I'm paying attention to what's going on. And I'm watching them ramp shit up. And I am a book fiend. I am. I know there might be some idiot sitting there in their little fabulous boat of think lessnative. Oh man, he gonna have all the books. Like that's a dumb motherfucker. You know, there's people that actually think like that. Well, he going, and you ain't doing shit to buy the books, motherfucker. I'm sharing them so you can buy them, or I can read them to you. I got totes with books. I'll throw them in the back. Books do not get left behind. God damn it. Some friend of mine say when they say, "You're Red, I bet you take the books, man, and leave half of your dry food." Depends on the weightage. And we was laughing. I was kind of serious. Like, I think this information will be pertinent to some individuals when shit, you know, we have a lot of children don't have no clue as to none of this information. None of this information. How many children you think know about this right here? And the other 2,000 books like it. Huh? Or know how to read and manipulate the reading to a point where it's not really manipulation of putting the puzzle pieces together and realizing, holy shit, that's been there all that time and I never even noticed it. That takes somebody who can nurture them if it's required. But we're getting to a point where they may be required because these motherfuckers don't want nobody to own none. They want everybody to worship one religion. It has nothing to do with what you think. And they want you to be subjugated to whatever the fuck. If they say you got to get this shot, you can't say no. You see what I'm saying? No, I got all of them. Baby, no. I'm the walking herbal document anyway. I ain't trying to be like CB. I've been reading Guys Are Eating. Pretty damn interesting, good read. Thank you for that one, baby girl. But anyway, like I said, if it's going to kill you, it don't bother. So I know some of y'all just too city. You're around your dumbass sisters and brothers. You got your mammy and your pappy behind you. You love them, but you don't even know why you love them because they always talking negative shit. And you got goofy motherfuckers around you. I know how it is. Some of y'all are loners. If you're loners, then welcome to the crew. And I can tell who those are. Y'all are the brightest, and you're not really alone. You just haven't found the right, well, you found me, but there's many more like us. And the rest of you motherfuckers, I want you to learn. You need to. But sooner or later, you're going to realize you're going to be like fucking Lavoy. I was wrong. Oh, fucking well. I ain't taking your bones nowhere. Spit on them. Put a turd on them. I ain't going to desecrate you like that. You see, I got motherfuckers running. But anyway, I'm going to sign off, man. Might be somebody else talking some goofy shit on some live somewhere. So I'm going to let y'all have at it, all right? And I might come on with a podcast because you know I got some top-notch subjects I want to broach upon. And I said what I need in the beginning of this one because that's something I want to talk about on a podcast where all voices can come in and share what their thoughts on this stuff. You dig what I'm saying? But hey, look, you know where I stand. Solid as it is. My ladies and my motherfucking brothers. We're going to keep weaning them out. Yeah. Y'all have a grand evening. Oh, shout outs. I'm sorry. Rondo, what's going on, blood brother? APJR. You got to make your way over here, Nick. Platinum Gold. Salute. What's going on, fam? Yeah. Cali, you already know that I get over here to Arizona, goddammit. Gray Wolf, Grand Elevations, bro. I hope they ain't fucking with you. Original Lone Wolf. What's up, baby boy? All my brothers. You know, all the wolves in the motherfucking house. Goddamn. I sold my Boeing stock. You did? Yeah, Boeing doing shitty. I would never took Boeing. Oh, hell no. Oh, I ain't messing with none of them motherfuckers. Yo, Nichelle Marquis, what's going on? You get over here too, girl. Shit. Love the fact that you love hearing me read, hon. Appreciate it. Don't leave that herbal encyclopedia. No. That one or 1,000 ways to motherfucking kill. I ain't leaving 100 ways to, no, I'm not leaving none of that. I know you is Sue Wolf. You already know that. You ain't got to say that. You know I know that. You know all my wolves in the house. Shit. And get me out here motherfucking howling at the motherfucking moon. Shit. That's why the sun be on one side and the moon be on the other, and I be facing north like that. I ain't gonna do it because I scared of cats in this motherfucking neighborhood, and even the dogs start howling around here when I go out to the corner and at night, and everybody's used to it now, and I do that deep breath, that deep diaphragm, and I hear that shit go up. Every dog all over the place start doing it. The coyotes start too. You can hear them. They be in a pack. And it's deep and it's loud. I scared the Spanish dude from Curry. He said, I thought I was a wolf out here, Ragon. He's like, oh, you know? I was like, do I know? It's our shit. Yeah, brother. He was like, yeah, brother Brad. I thought I was a real wolf out here. I was like, yeah, it is. You have a good evening. Every you're safe. Not no Lycan werewolf bullshit movie. It's snowing. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. I hope it's snow. It was just dry to the motherfucker. No wonder you was dancing around like you had to take a shit. You know what a kitty box is. Get away from the door. You ain't gonna look at him. Oh, he's over here listening to her. Look at this shit. No, I don't want you coming in. I don't know what's coming on you. God damn it. I'm like a big ass kid. I want to get one of them big riding suits. I can't put my arm down there and go and roll around. No, I ain't rolling. That shit might not even be natural. Anyway, I'm going to sign off, y'all. Appreciate it. I can't even go out there and put my tags on. I'm not going out there shit. Fuck all that. Now it's blowing hard going this way. I hope it ain't something else coming with it. My abs need a rest. I'm gonna have everybody farting in a minute. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign the fuck off. You know, we say no drama between one devil. The fuck I need to be on the dark auto light when I am imminent. Well, it's all about I'm just saying, I'm imminent. Oh, it's coming down. Navi hit me up. She's out in NA, and snow over there. She's driving around. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna sign off, y'all, because I can chat with y'all for all night. All right. Much love and respect to everybody in the chat. All right. Remember, tribe, we tribe. And don't worry, pale skins, because I'm telling the truth. If you feel excluded, that's your motherfucking feelings, and I ain't got shit to do with them. Get yourself in order. Or run around in your little world of lies and be comfortable there. You can tribe up. Yeah, we used to adopt a lot of you dumb motherfuckers. Now you don't lost your way and forgot who the fuck we is. But yeah, that's what happened with people who don't have no real identity. But welcome to the party.